Hey everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You are watching Open, and thank you. We appreciate you and love you for it. Coming up on today's show, we'll sit down with the Executive Director and Outreach Coordinator of an organization that is helping people achieve their home buying goals. Then we'll highlight the founders of a newly opened Ostomy Clinic to learn more about the services they are providing within the community. Plus, we'll hear from a Paralympian who will share her journey as an athlete and so much more. Then finally, we'll sit down with a young man who has worn many hats. He'll share his passion for the food industry and speak about his catering business and so much more. So please stay tuned. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and we're wide open. Here we go. Hey everybody, I'm your host, the Doc Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Now, leading things off, our first guests are the Executive Director and Outreach Coordinator of Bronx Neighborhood Housing Services, CDC, and they join us to highlight how their organization is empowering Bronx residents by helping them achieve home ownership goals and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Gladstone Johnson and Cristhian Compana.
Thank you,
welcome,
Bob.
welcome,
Thank you, Bob.
guys.
Thank you.
We're in there. All right, welcome. First time on the set?
Yes.
All right, guys, first time on the initiation takes place now. You ready for it?
Yes, sir.
Should we do it now? Give them a big hand, everybody in the studio. And along with you, you know, we have some new interns that are working the cameras and the floors and all of that stuff. Give them a big round of applause. First day on the job, internship, we welcome you. Thank you. I did an internship about a few years ago.
Around
Can't
the
say how
corner,
many
very
years.
close, very close.
Yeah, you remember?
Yes.
You remember you were around?
Yeah.
All right. So listen, tell us about what you guys are doing and what the program's are all about.
Good. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for asking. The Bronx Neighborhood Housing Services have been serving communities in the Bronx for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Our main focus is working with low and moderate income citizens to assist them with becoming first-time home buyers.
Ah, all right.
Of course, that has many steps to it. So we start off by taking them through an orientation.
Yeah.
That orientation says, do you know what you're going to get into if you're talking about owning a home? So it gives them an overview of what it's all about.
Yeah.
Then we assist them with working on things like their credit to align it if it's out of line, their debt, their income situation, and then we get them to a point where they're ready to go to a financial institution to get a pre-approval.
And Cristhian, you go around, you find these people, you provide the outreach?
What I make sure is that people know about our services.
Yes.
Because believe it or not, we have been there for so many years, but there are so many people who are unaware that they have this help available for them.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And people have been renting for years.
100%.
They're looking to get out of it, you
Yes.
know. And
When the same amount that they're paid of rent, they could utilize it to pay a mortgage.
Yeah, right.
So I make sure to get together with different organizations, elected officials, to make sure that they promote our organization and they tell the community that we're here to help.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are frightened to take that first step because you don't know what's around the corner. And that fear is there because
Yes.
people don't know, and that's why we need organizations like yours.
Not only that, but for example, we have what Mr. Johnson mentioned, an orientation online.
Yeah.
So we always invite people who want to take the first step to join that orientation. They could go to our website and check it when is the next one available, and that's how they learn about the entire process. They can see if they're eligible to apply or not, but at least you are educated on how to start the process.
Gladstone,
Yes.
within the 30 years, I know you have people who have come back and, you know, come back to thank you and say, hey, man, I never knew about this.
Absolutely.
Thank you for getting me through it.
Well, my passion about this organization is because back in the 80s,
Yeah.
when I was about to start a family, I lived in Hartford, Connecticut then, And it was through Neighborhood Housing Services of Hartford, Connecticut,
Yeah.
that I got my first house. So I do know the value of it, and that's why we put a lot into being patient with the people to work through the process to get them that house.
Yeah. Talk about the equity that can be built up into a home. I mean, people are renting and it just goes to rent.
Yeah.
Never to be seen again. It's like throwing your money out the window. I mean, you got a roof over your head, but it's not yours.
Bob, you know, I'm glad you brought that up, because even though our citizens who own home, I don't think they really appreciate what equity is. I've had, for example, a teacher come to my office, and she has had a house for over 25 years, and but she's having problems with the house. It needs some repairs.
Yeah.
And she's saying, Mr. Johnson, I just want to get rid of this house. So I started to ask her a few simple questions. What's the value of your house? $900,000. How much do you owe on the house? $150,000.
Oh my God.
What's the value of the repairs?
Yeah.
$20,000. I said, ma'am, you do not have a problem.
You have your own bank. You have your own bank right there. You're sitting on your
we're
bank.
big on education, because we have to educate them to understand, even those who have homes, the value of what they have and how to manage those challenges that come up from time to time. Yeah.
But explain
I'm
what.
sorry, Bob,
Go
to interrupt you. Not only that, but as he mentioned, we don't only offer help to become a homeowner. A person who is already a homeowner could also use our help for repairs.
Yes.
Yes.
But tell me, we didn't explain the whole thing. Since she had the problem of things going wrong with the home, tell everybody how she can use, instead of borrowing money from somewhere or thinking that she doesn't have the money, how she can use what's in the home to repair what she has.
Absolutely. So we work with financial institutions. We do offer a limited amount of grants. So there's a possibility that homeowner could compete for one of the grants.
So she doesn't have to touch her equity.
So she doesn't have to touch the equity, right? But if that doesn't work, we have what we call like HELOC loans that we work with the financial institutions to set them up so they can really get the money out from the equity.
Is it like a home equity loan?
Home equity loan, yes.
And the interest rates are lower because it's your money and your property.
Right,
so you're borrowing from yourself.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sort of, kind of.
So there are many options available. So we encourage the folks to come in and talk to us. Let us see what the situation is. There's always, I believe there's a solution for every problem.
Yeah. What are some of the other services that you guys provide?
Well, currently we're doing free tax preparation. So that's a huge help. We receive people from different parts of New York State, and other people who love the way that we take care of them, that they come from different states to do their taxes with us.
Last year we did over 1,700 free tax preparations, and we brought back over $3 million into the community.
Free of charge.
Let me see, where are you guys located?
We do energy efficient program. We do foreclosure prevention, and many more that we're working on.
Right.
Good.
One of the things we're adapting this year, because we realize that when the people come to us, they have more than housing issues. So we are partnering with an organization called SOMAS to provide a wraparound service.
Yeah.
So if we identify that they might be have food insecurity, we can point them in the right direction. If they have issues with paying their rent, any of those options, we also are able to connect them. We have a network set up to connect them with those services.
Yeah, I'm loving it. And, people don't know that they may have some big write-offs within the home that they own.
Absolutely.
What if they're renting the basement?
Well, I hopefully it's legal. It's set up right.
But that's another thing, It'll be legal for them to want to write it off.
Yes.
But we do have a big challenge.
You have a home office.
Yes.
We have a team of tax preparers who are very knowledgeable, and they make sure that if you have these things, to make sure that they give you the best return. Of course, providing the right documents.
There you go.
Yeah.
Of course, the biggest challenge we're facing, Bob, is that we do not have enough adequate housing for low and moderate income residents. We just don't. For example, especially in the Northeast Bronx, most of the houses are 2, 3 family houses. And so the people come in sometime, they're looking to say, hey, Mr. Johnson, we'd like to buy a 3-family house, and we want to live on 1 floor and rent out the other 2, and even have some passive income coming in. But of course, when we pre-qualify them, they really need to start maybe at a townhouse or
they maybe qualify for a co-op.
A co-op.
And their idea is to get a multifamily home.
Right.
So that's the part where we need to educate people that
Yes.
financially what you're able to achieve versus what you want to.
Yeah.
So we have to talk them down and to start, you know, where their finances will allow them to start.
Right, right.
And then they can grow into.
So you recommend a multi-family home because they can do
No,
more
no.
with-
We have a lot of people who come in who wanted a multifamily home.
Oh, okay.
However, their financial situation just allow them to qualify for a co-op. So we want to make sure that you are, as a client, are educated to don't put you in a financial situation where you are not capable of making the payments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we would say, the old folks would say, you need to creep before you walk, right?
Yeah, yeah. There was a time in life where we didn't know how to walk, but we knew how to crawl.
Yes.
We got up and fell back down,
Yeah.
got up and fell back down. Now we can walk with style and class, so you can add some swag to
Yes.
So we try to help people get to that level.
get to that. What about the faith-based community? Are you working with them?
I work very closely with the faith-based community. Actually, I'm also a pastor here in the Bronx.
All right.
So through the New Testament Temple Church of God. So
Yes.
we're well connected with the faith-based organization, yes.
Excellent. Did we miss anything that you want to bring up before we have about a minute and a half left?
February 22nd, we have a home ownership course.
It's coming up.
It's coming up. So we definitely invite everyone to check online, register, and participate. You know, it's a big opportunity to learn about all our services.
Yeah.
And we have industrial professionals, lenders, attorneys, inspectors.
Everybody all under one roof.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's a Zoom though, right?
No, this will be in person.
In person.
Yes.
Okay.
And also I'd like to highlight, every year we have a gala, Community Impact Award Gala, where we recognize those in the community who serve well in our organization. And so we're looking forward to that. And we might even want to invite you to see what we do there.
We bring in sound music. We have our BronxNet. Did you talk to Steve, our producer?
We will.
We can,
We'll make sure that the entire
Maybe we
Bronx
get some
family is
BronxNet
involved.
cameras, and I don't know where they're going to be on that date, but you know, you can
Yes.
check with them and find out.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you pray us out?
Yes, I can. Father, we thank you for this opportunity to serve the Bronx. We know that you love the Bronx. And Lord, there's nothing more you'd want to know that every member of the Bronx live in safe communities with homes, peaceful and united. And so we pray for every citizen of the Bronx. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Before we go, give us the website.
BronxNHS.org.
There you go.
And social media, Bronx NHS CDC.
Appreciate you guys. Gladstone Johnson, Executive Director, Bronx Neighborhood Housing Services. Cristhian Compana, Outreach Coordinator. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming on and
Thank you.
sharing
Thank
that,
you.
that
Thank
wonderful, great information.
Thank you, Bob.
I will take a quick break. Wait, I've got more coming up next on Open.
We're gonna start the show right now. This is my favorite part. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, This is Angel, and I am one of the instructors for the in-studio production. Here at BronxNet, we offer classes that can help you elevate, expand, and start your television career. All you have to do is sign up at bronxnet.org/education. For the past 7 years, I have been in various productions, spanning from talk shows, independent films, news reports, art displays, teachings, musical performances, and many more. Ain't that right, Angel? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Angel. There are a lot of creative individuals that we're just waiting to sign up for the class. And if I may, can I also express thank you, Angel. That's all the time we have left. Visit bronxnet.org/education and become a producer by taking the course. The class I offer is also in English, en español y también bilingüe. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.
Welcome back. Our next guests are registered nurses, a wound and care specialist, and a clinical professor of surgery at Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. They're here to shine a light on the wonderful new Ostomy Clinic that they are opening up, and they're going to be speaking about how they are serving our medical needs in our community. So please welcome to the show Thureiyya Rodriguez, Katherine Cesario, and Dr. Jeffrey Freed. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Hope you guys are having fun. You guys have all the information, so I'm just going to pull it out of you a little bit. Who wants to kick it off?
Dr. Freed.
Dr. Freed, tell us about it. What do you got? What are we doing? We have the new
we're
clinic.
going to speak about ostomies or
Yes.
ileostomies, colostomies, things that people usually don't talk about.
Yeah.
Anytime you take a portion of the small or large intestine, right, and bring it out to the skin, and you move your bowels into a bag, it's an ostomy.
Ostomy.
Right,
Yes.
and that's what these two colleagues of mine are specialists in taking care of. This is a topic we rarely talk about. People are embarrassed. They think there's a stigma attached, that there's something wrong with them if they have an ostomy, but none of this is true.
There are a lot of people in our society with an ostomy.
Correct. We estimate there are about 1 million people with ostomies in the country.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. And we've been doing ostomies for 300 years. But it's only in the last 50 years that we've developed techniques where we have allowed the ostomy, which is the intestine that's been brought out to the skin, to be handled properly.
Yeah.
So one, you have some quality of life, and two, you don't develop problems related to the ostomy.
Yeah.
And again, my colleagues are specialists in avoiding this. And now that these services are available, we expect people to really come out from the shadows and really allow us to make their lives better.
Who would need one, and what procedures are they going through to warrant an ostomy?
There are a variety of diseases that will result in having an ostomy, like cancer that's blocking the intestine. You may have to do a colostomy or an ileostomy. You can have Crohn's disease, which is an inflammation of the intestine, and wind up with an ostomy.
Is it a stroke of the lower intestines, or?
Well, it's not a stroke. It's actually like an autoimmune process that our intestine is attacked by our own tissues and causes inflammation that
It could be shut down or kept open.
or burst.
Yeah.
Or burst. And in some of these situations, it's necessary to bring the intestine to the skin to bypass that area.
Yeah.
And it can be temporary or it can be permanent, depending on the disease that you have.
Bypass surgery in that area.
Correct.
You said it can be permanent or temporary?
Or temporary.
So if it's going to be temporary, that means you're going to go back in and reconnect?
Correct. Correct. And that's a good situation. But in many people, they live with their ostomies for their entire lives. Loretta Young, who was a famous actress in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, right, walked around and danced around the stage with her ostomy that nobody ever knew about because she never talked about it. And Ralph Vanushka, who was the kicker for the first Kansas City team to win a Super Bowl. Right?
Taking it there.
He had an ostomy.
Yeah.
Okay? And nobody ever knew about it because people didn't talk about it then. But now, with these improved techniques and the improved quality of life that people have, we hope that they'll come out and allow us to make their lives better.
So it comes out through the skin and into a bag that's flattened out?
Right,
or-
and I
Right.
think Thureiyya
have-
can actually demonstrate this.
So then this is the bag. And then with the ostomy would normally, so this one is a two-piece.
Yeah. Can you guys see? You got that?
So this is a two-piece, and this would be the base. It would stick to the skin.
Yeah.
And then this part of the bag is where the stoma would go.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would stick it just like that. So the stoma would be attached. Basically, the stoma is attached somewhere either on the left or the right. It may be high, it may be low. It just depends on where the surgeon decides. And then this piece would go over, which is the base plate to hold it. And because it is a two-piece, because there are one pieces where it's all in one.
Yeah.
And then the bag would go over it. And then this is what they would wear underneath their clothing. And so, and this happens to be a drainable. This is for people who pass stool.
You take it to the bathroom and you just.
Empty it, and then, but the bag itself stays on every, up to about 4 days, and then they have to take the entire pouch system off and then put a new one on. But every day, as it fills up with whatever waste that's coming out, whether it be urine or stool, they would empty it into the toilet, but they don't have to take the bag off. And no one would know because it's underneath the clothing, it lays flat.
Yeah.
And so, and then they just roll it up to close it. This one is a roll, is a Velcro, but it would close.
Yeah.
And then it's
that
attached.
eliminates smell and everything, or contains the smell?
It contains the smell, and then we have deodorizers that we use that we teach them that they can either drop into the bag or they can put it into the toilet. Depending on the type of surgery that they have will determine whether or not the odor is strong or not, because there are some ostomies that have a watery output, so it doesn't have that odor
Right.
because it hasn't had time to thicken and form into a full stool. But the ones that, you know, where you hear people say, oh, it smells, it's usually because they're talking about the one that's near the end, almost coming out, which is in the in the large intestines part.
Yeah.
So the odor is stronger because it's had time to go through the entire process.
Yeah, wow.
But the ones that are on the right side, where it goes through the stomach into the small intestines, and then the content just comes out, it doesn't have that odor that people refer to when they think about ostomies.
Wow. Katherine, how's this wound taken care of? How do you protect or keep it from getting infected?
Well, I guess that's actually something I explained, that this isn't necessarily a wound versus an ostomy. So we are specialists in wound and ostomy care,
Yes.
which can sometimes be the same thing, but can be different. And when we talk about ostomies, that is like it's been explained, a surgically created opening where they pull the bowel out.
Yeah.
So when we talk about healing, certainly the patient needs to heal from their surgery. And for anybody who's had any type of surgery, that's going to be a period of maybe 6 weeks to 6 months where they're just healing. What our job is really to make sure that they have the smoothest ride in terms of adapting to both just healing from surgery and the mental hurdle of now eliminating poop or urine out of your abdomen and not sitting on a toilet like the majority of us do. So we kind of act as guides on many different levels, not just clinically, but sometimes even emotionally.
Emotionally, psychologically, people maybe don't want to be in a crowd, thinking that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
So that's gonna
absolutely.
bother
And I
them.
think that's one of the things, and why we want to start this is because we want to talk about it more. We have both come across patients that stay indoors. I currently have a patient who is a very functional individual,
Yeah.
actually has a wonderful ostomy, it
Yeah.
functions well, but I'm trying to convince her to go to the movies, you know, because she's afraid to go out to the movies. Yet there's no other disability that she carries
Yeah.
besides the ostomy.
Is there a bigger bag? I mean, because people, they release a lot more. Some people release a lot more than.
That's a great question.
I
actually.
mean, you know.
This is the standard bag.
Is
I
it?
mean, you can get up to a 12-inch. The thing is that you teach about emptying. So let's say you have someone who puts out a lot.
Yeah.
then you talk about why are they putting out so much. You
Yeah.
want to find out the reason why, because honestly, they're only supposed to put out so many so many times throughout the day.
Yeah, yeah.
So they shouldn't be putting out a lot of output, and if they are, then that means there's something
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
And they have to do the follow-up, with their physician and find out why they're putting out so much. But we have thickeners if it's too watery that we put in the pouch,
yeah.
and it helps to thicken the output. If it's really thick, then we teach how to empty it. And usually the ones that have the colostomy, it's a once a day. They're on the same schedule that they were before they had the surgery. So
Yeah.
if they went to the bathroom once a day, then that's how many times they'll probably empty the bag.
I was going to ask the doctor, do you have to take a special medication to work with?
It's just like moving
Or
your
special-
bowels, and you handle it
special
exactly
diet?
the same way.
Yeah.
Diet, if they need some fiber in their diet, perhaps they have too much fiber in their diet, and the ostomy's functioning too often.
Yeah.
So you have to play with it a little bit. I must say that, and this is very important, most doctors are very busy and don't really have the time to sit with the patient and go over their diet, their medications, how much output there is,
Yeah.
what are they handling the ostomy all right? Are they causing themselves damage by not putting on the bag correctly? That is the purpose of my colleagues.
Yeah.
They will take the time to make your life better. They will go over each of these items and be able to really moderate your life so you have the best possible quality.
Thank God for you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Do you have anything coming up that will teach us more, or should we go to a website, or?
Well, they can follow, if they want now, we do home visits. And so you can reach myself at thureiyyarodriguez.org, and then they can get a complimentary 15-minute consultation where we have a discussion just to find out the need. And then we'll do home visits, or they can reach out to my colleague, Katherine Cesario. Starting on the 1st of March, we'll have the on-site, and then we'll work with clients. And they can still reach us at thureiyyarodriguez.org.
The 1st of
Or
March,
The 1st of March.
Location?
Yes.
Yeah, we're opening up a clinic or an office where patients
Oh, you got to
can
come back before
see
we do
us.
it. Let me see this. Wow. We got to come back after then, because
yeah,
this is it right here. So we can come back and share more.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes. Because it is a big thing. I think that there's a lot of people in the community that could utilize
Yeah.
the service, even if they don't need troubleshooting with the pouch. Just the education and support alone will help them through their process, and not just them, the caregiver as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the caregiver goes through their own process, and then at some point in time, when someone is older with an ostomy, they may need a pouch change because their dexterity changes.
Yeah.
And they need reassessment as well, or they need the support and the education
Okay.
to the caregiver.
Great. You guys have wealth of information and know a lot of people that have that, and who are afraid to come out into the community. So,
Absolutely.
we want to
because of
help
the
them.
stigma.
And that's the ones
attached
that
to
we
it.
want to reach out to.
Yeah. So where can we go to find out more? Give that to me one more time.
At thureiyyarodriguez.org. It's my first and last name. Or they can look on my LinkedIn at so it's THUREIYYA
And you
or
got
Rodriguez.org.
and you have everything about March 1st, so people can come and find out more.
Yes, March 1st.
Hey, listen, thank you guys so much for coming
Thank you for
back.
having
and
me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
come back more often so we can talk about that. This is a thing in our community.
We would
Yes.
love
This
to.
is happening. This
I'll
is
talk about it every
this
day.
is real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
All right. Thureiyya Rodriguez, Katherine Cesario, and Dr. Jeffrey Freed. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Sinai, go.
Go.
All right. We'll take a quick break right here. I've got more open coming up right after this. Stay right there. And welcome back. Our next guest is a Paralympian, and she joins us to speak about her journey as an athlete and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Alicia Ibarra. Alicia, welcome.
I'm so happy for being here. Thanks for inviting me and so glad for being all the New York community.
Alicia Ibarra. Now, wait a minute. Where are you located? Are you in New York City right now?
In Mexico right now.
Mexico. All right. All right. How's the weather?
I will be in New York in February 22nd.
You got to come by and visit us.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. I think we have some programs where they have the night market and they have the good foods from different countries. When you come, you should check that out. I think it's going to be in effect by then. I'll talk to my producers and find out more about it. And you can keep in touch with them, and maybe when you come, you can link it up.
I like
All right?
that.
Yeah. So how did you discover your passion for sports and what motivated you to become a high-performance athlete?
Oh, that's amazing question. So I was motivated by following by the example. I am a single mom and I wanted to be a great example for my son. And I want to have, in fact, besides that, I wanted to be known and that my name sound internationally by facing a lot of challenges and having faith. And that was my dream, listening to my name in the main games like a Paralympic. And was like, what am I going to do when my name sounds international?
Yeah.
Yeah, my history going to be inspiration for many people who
Yes.
is struggling right now.
What challenges did you face when you started training as a Paralympian?
Well, I had so many, so I will talk some about you. Sometimes we have not big support for the institutions, so we have to look forward how to um, overcome all the challenges and how to open the doors to be to get sponsors to be able to compete internationally, to be able to be on the top and
Yeah.
be in the high performance uh, internationally with
Yeah.
competing with the champions. And I had to be able to make some strategies and be able to be in charge economically and be high performance physically.
Uh-huh.
And I have to develop so many strategies to get there. But finally I was so my dream was so big that I could attract everything I need to achieve my goal.
Yeah. And in the beginning, well, when you found out that you had a situation, what got you out of maybe your feelings at that time that, hey, I don't have the right support or the right equipment that I need to perform?
Well, I was always so inspired. I like to interview before me you made and this guy was praying. I love that because I have always been praying and asking for guidance. What is my next step? Because my dad was murdered when I was 2, and then
Yeah.
I had an accident that may lost my leg when I was 8.
Yeah.
I got cancer, so fortunately my leg was amputated before the cancer get on my body.
Yeah.
And it was hard, but I believe that when you have a big dreams, you do everything you need and you do everything you got
Yeah.
to achieve your dreams. And my son was a very um, support, because I promised myself that I was going to be a great example for him, because there were going to be some time when he gets old and I will going to ask him, go for your goals. And
Uh,
then I I will not, or I wouldn't allow myself to receive as an answer. And what about your goals? What are
Yeah.
your dreams? What do you do for your life? And then I am in congruence right now with him.
Beautiful. You have to be a strong person. We got to give it to you, you know. Woo! God is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. He is so good. I have to develop a lot of faith.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I got a mentor. I found a mentor. Maybe I didn't grow up with my dad, and I miss him even though I didn't even know him so well.
Yeah.
But he loved me, and my faith was so big that I found a mentor who helped me to get there with the right mental
Yeah.
attitude, with the right feelings, with the right um,
Yeah.
methodology, and to help me to get where I wanted to get.
Yeah. So, who were the main sources of inspiration when you started your sports career? Some of those main sources of inspiration.
My son, of course, my son, and there was something more. You know what? As I grow up with kind of scarcity and out of my family. I grew up in the hospital. I was a normal child growing up in the school and with the teachers and all that stuff.
Uh huh.
I developed a lot of love with society, because as I grew up in the hospital, I saw so many child suffering, and I remember I was helping the nurses because the childs were crying, suffering, was like, and
Well.
as I knew how it feels, it was like always going with the nurses. Why can I help you? What can I do for you?
Yeah.
And instead of being playing with the guys or the child, sometimes I used to go with the nurses and help them, and go with the child and help the child, make them laugh, because I knew how it feels, and
Yeah.
and that's why I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do something for my life. Maybe I
Yeah.
can help people.
Alicia, you know the feeling, so you can tell when somebody else needs that love. And
Yeah,
that's the love that
yeah.
you're giving right
That,
now.
that,
It's a
that's
circle
what.
of love. You get by giving, and that circle is with you, and you know what to do. You know what to do.
Yeah, I developed that.
So are you training? Are you training right now?
I am not training that right now. I found my own company.
Uh,
It's for personal development, and
yeah,
with the help of my mentor Bob Proctor, I have a really great methodology that can help you to attract everything you need.
yeah,
Because of this, because there are many people struggling right now,
yes,
and we didn't were born, or we didn't born to be struggle. We were born to enjoy life, to achieve our dreams, and that's my purpose right now, to wake people up and
yeah,
help them to get what they really want without struggling, because I already did, and I know a way to get them to where they want to
yeah.
go.
Alicia, are you going to put this in a book?
I have my own book right now.
Oh, here we go.
I have my own book. It's been getting in translator right now.
Uh
It's
huh.
been translated. It's a
Yeah,
high performance life, the 5 metals of success, and a lot of great stories that will not allow you to keep up, because the easy way is like, oh, family is not supporting me.
uh huh,
Government is not giving me what I need. And my body needs to be fit.
uh
And
huh.
a lot of excuses, a lot of circumstances. We don't have to allow the circumstances stop you. And in fact, I was in December in LA with some business owner, and to help them to get their I was given a conference over there,
Uh huh.
and that was great. They are achieving right now their
Yeah,
results
yeah,
looking for, and what they are looking for. Now I am coming back this February to help more people to wake up. You know what? we have everything what we need inside of us.
Say that.
Everything.
Say that in
Like,
Spanish.
we-
Say that in
excuse me?
Spanish.
Tenemos todo lo que necesitamos dentro de nosotros.
Inside.
Inside of us.
Yes.
We have everything. We were born rich, but we don't know yet because we get distracted with the circumstances. We have all the power in the mind. I learned with my mentor who helped me to get to where I wanted. He told me how to use my mind correctly. And now that's what I do in my company with people. I wake them up to use their mind correctly because we have power in our mind.
Beautiful, beautiful. And give a big shout out and some love to Bob Proctor and all the people who have helped you in your life get what
That's
you
right.
need. Yeah.
Bob Proctor, I am so grateful, but with my mentor, he's gone now. God bless him. But I know he's with me every time. I am her direct consultant, and he gave me everything because he told me, you know what, you are ready to help me to wake people up.
Yeah.
There is so strange there are many genius people that are struggling right now in
Yes.
their lives. Why? Because there is something. There are paradigms controlling their mind. Even though until you program your mind with the right information, you will attract money, you will attract business, you will attract people, you will attract everything what I do need because that's what I did.
Yeah. Beautiful. You know, you have a website that we need to go to. Give us a social media website and the whole nine.
Yeah, but I want to do an invitation for the people who is watching us right now. And I want to tell you that I will be in New York,
New York.
this coming February 22nd of February. It's going to be Hayden City Loft, 136 East 24th Street. And you can communicate to my website, Alicia Ibarra, org, O-R-G, or you can call this number, 917-935-9017.
And you're gonna put all of that on your website so we can grab it, right? They're gonna wrap me up in about 15 seconds.
Okay, Alicia Ibarra. .org.
Okay.
O-R-G.
Listen, Alicia, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you for all that you're doing and what you continue to do. And God bless you. Alicia Ibarra, athlete, and she has a book out. So make sure you have all of that on your website, Alicia. I will take a quick break right here. I've got more open. It's all coming your way next.
.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city, and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak, and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. Our next guest and last guest, our final guest, is a chef and entrepreneur. He's a man that carries a diverse background in corporate banking, modeling, and culinary arts. He's here to speak about how he transitioned to the food industry and started his new catering business. Kim's Kitchen. Woo! Sounds good, right? Got a good ring to Kim's Kitchen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Kimanie Travoy, welcome to the show.
Pleasure being here.
All right. How'd you come up with the name? It should have been easy, right?
It's super easy because the whole time, my whole experience is just to try to share the love that I have for and the passion that I have for food with the rest of the world.
So how did you make the transition?
So to be honest, there is no actual real transition.
You've been doing it all along.
I'm a modern day Renaissance man, jack of all trades. I've been cooking since I was about 10 years old. So that's what, 30 years of cooking straight. I started catering when I was about 16 in high school. I would cook and bring it to school. And then I developed a reputation over the last 2.5 decades of just really bringing people together through my food.
Yeah, but you've been coming across a couple of various industries, right?
Yeah.
Are you in New York? You were born in New York? Give us a little background.
I was born and raised in Montego Bay, Jamaica, but I've lived in New York.
All right.
Came to
Ma Bay.
Yeah, you know about Ma Bay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the accent can turn on and off, but it also inspires a lot of my culinary aspects as well, because a lot of what I do is a really Jamaican fusion. So I like to bring those familiar flavors that, I consider myself a grandma chef where I cook like a grandma, but it's a young, dark-skinned man's body.
Yeah. So say that and now add some, like you add spice to your food. Now say it with the Jamaican accent.
Yeah, my love, put a little love in my things, so the things are just like pepper up and salt and well seasoned.
There you go. Man, do you do the ackee and saltfish and all that stuff?
So funny enough, the very last event that I did, I like I said, I love bridging cultures and I experimenting with food. So I had this idea to do ackee and saltfish, but I wanted to do something new with it. So I decided, why don't I just put that in an empanada and fry and see what it tastes like.
All right.
Saltfish empanadas with a nice little homemade ranch dressing.
There you go. What do you do with the breadfruit?
So funny enough, I love to make fried breadfruit too. What you know about breadfruit? Yes.
I know about it. I used to go to Jamaica 3 times a year, sometimes 4.
So funny enough, 2 years ago, I catered my own birthday party. I had a joint birthday party with Laurence Bass. She's a Project Runway runner-up.
Yeah.
And we had a joint birthday party. And instead of getting a caterer, I was like, why don't I cater my own thing? So I had a bunch of breadfruit and I wanted to make something with it. And I said, what can I do with this? What can I do with it? So instead of just frying it regular, I turned the breadfruit into nice little crostinis, and I had made oxtail. So I deboned the oxtail and then I made ragu, and I put the oxtail right on top of my breadfruit crostinis.
All right.
Nice little bite.
All right. What can you do with escovitch fish?
Just made one last weekend when I was smoking those. I'm telling you, man.
I'm gonna have you come into the studio and hook all that up. We'll get the tables and everything.
Yeah. I like trying new things. I like, putting little spins on it. So like the last time I did escovitch fish, I said, what would this taste like if you added a little bit of ginger into it? So that's just where my mind goes. Anytime I think about food, I always try to figure out a way to flip it, because food should be exciting. Food should feel new. Food should also feel like it's something to talk about as you're eating. Because think to yourself, some of the best meals that you ever have is when the entire table's quiet.
Yeah.
And you talk about it afterwards.
You hear a little something, but you don't hear any talking.
But it's good. It's good.
Yeah. So listen, I was invited over to a commissioner's home, and they invited a number of people over, and they had the chef come in, and they were cooking. Oh, it was amazing. And I like to eat, but I didn't want to be greedy. But I wanted more, but I just didn't want to ask for it. The food was so good. It was a coconut something. They mixed out. Coconut curry, you said?
Yeah, that's another really nice combination.
It could have been that, but it was so good. I can't find this guy, but I was wondering if you go to homes and do different things for people. You can cook.
Ironically enough, that's one of the ventures that I'm going down now. Is I have a web series that I am going to start filming where it's just going to be called "In the Kitchen with Kim"
Yeah.
or in the Fridge with Kim. And the whole purpose of it is I'm going to go to like my friends' homes or someone random's home, and whatever you've got in your fridge, I will have my little satchel of ingredients that I normally would put together with things.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
create a new dish with whatever you've got in your fridge.
What?
And like a nice little pairing.
That's challenging.
Yeah. But honestly,
But it can
like
be
you
done.
said, that's just who I am as a person.
Yeah.
I like to challenge myself. I like to stay on my toes. And like you said earlier, I'm a guy that wears many hats, but I also feel like all my hats play into each other. So by day, I consider call it my Clark Kent. I'm a corporate banker, and even
You're a VIP, you're vice president of a bank, right?
Yeah, a VP at a global bank. And with my team, I treat my team like how I run my kitchen. I try to be quite on top of everything. Everything is an ingredient that goes into the larger soup that I'm trying to create with my clients, and vice versa. Here on the catering side of things, I've taken that knowledge and expertise that I've gained on the business world and implemented into my business itself.
Kimanie, are you in New York right now?
Yeah, I'm actually in the South Bronx, right across from Harlem in Mount Haven.
Oh, that'd be great. You can come in, talk about banking, and you can set up something where, watch everybody just. They have something called Save the Bronx coming up. You should join that team too. Yeah,
definitely. I would definitely love to. Bring you one of those ackee and saltfish empanadas.
Oh boy, here we go. All right, sounds good. Hook up the beef patty, the chicken patties, all that stuff, and have all the food laid out like that, and say, "This is what I do."
Yeah, and
but that's the beef patties are easy though. That's you go deeper. You go deeper than that.
Yeah, I like to keep it on its toes. A little brown stew chicken empanada, ackee and saltfish empanada, oxtail empanada, all those kinds of things. Throw them in something, fry it, and serve it with a nice little dipping sauce.
Yeah. So Kim's. I'm salivating all over the place, man. Kim's Kitchen. Where are you located?
So right now, I generally will host these events out of Sobro Garden on Bruckner Boulevard. So we're part of this South Bronx Renaissance that's happening right now, where we're trying to bring back more community and bring through just so much love and show that there is still a heart that's inside the Bronx, where we're going to bring folks in, we're going to feed them, we're going to make sure that you have a presence here, because we don't want it to be a situation where, the South Bronx is changing, but we still want to have our mark and our imprint on it. And I'm doing my small part to make sure that, we're a part of this community as it continues to grow.
I love it, man. Maybe you can bring down a few of the people that you work with there, and just, I keep saying, lay that food out. Am I hungry or what?
Yeah. It's you remember Jimmy? Like, you ever been to one of the Jimmy's restaurants back in the day?
Yeah, sure.
That's actually the same gentleman that owns that establishment. So he and I have a very great partnership where, once a month I host a brunch there, and it's a nice 4-course tasting menu where, we start off with a salad, and then each course there's an option. So there's a soup course, an appetizer course, and a main course. And there are certain dishes that I'm not allowed to take off the menu anymore because they've become kind of staples and synonymous with me. So every now and again, I'll walk down the street and someone like, "You're the guy who made that."
Well, let us know when you're going to do it so we can come down and be a part of the tasting.
Definitely, I'd love to.
See if we can cover it too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I know you've worked with a number of companies. Who are some of the people that you've partnered with in the past besides the people from Jimmy's?
So funny enough, prior to that, everything was completely independent and on my own. And ironically enough, I consider myself an old school gentleman, and how the opportunity even happened in the first place was, being slightly chivalrous, walking someone home, and we stopped by when we got to the place, and it was just like, we sparked up a very nice, good conversation. And I talked about how I've been independently doing this, and one day he was just like, "I want to try your oxtail." Yeah. Came back, I brought some of the oxtail that I made, and the bartender in front of him looked at him and was like,
there you go.
Silence that,
And you take the bone out of it, right?
Oh, yeah. My oxtail is to the point where it's firm, but you can still pull that bad boy off the bone.
What? Fall right off the bone. Do you have any upcoming events happening that we should know about?
Yeah, I'm doing something for Black History Month with one of the local coalitions around the community, and also another one with what is the name of that organization? Greenleaf. I'm doing another one so I'm doing a lot of Black History Month events now, and then I kind of want to take a little bit of a break to figure out exactly what the next phase into it is, because like I mentioned earlier, I want to get a little bit more into the content creation. So yeah, now the world knows that Kim cooks. Kim,
There you go.
now I
And
want to be able to actually just share some of the pieces of wisdom that I find to be helpful in the
beautiful.
kitchen, because I think anybody can be a great chef as long as you put your own personality and put your own spin into it. So that's the next transition of what I want to do as well.
Yeah, you got the Kim Cook's bank account ready?
Man, I'm just so excited to see how the world has responded to my food, to my cuisine. And not just
Yeah,
that, I consider it my art. This is my passion. This is where all my creativity comes in, because I'll
yeah,
be in the apartment with my friends and it'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you know what? I should cook something. I can cook. That's
yeah.
just it's always been me ever since I was a kid, and I don't know how to turn that bad boy off.
Oh man, Kim, thank you so much. The next time you come, make sure you come into the studio with the whole thing, and
I
we'll
got
hook it
you.
up like that, and you can watch everybody.
The silence,
Thank
the
you.
poetic silence. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you, my brother. Thanks for coming on. All right,
Thanks so much.
and you're always welcome to come back again.
Yes, sir. We'll
All
follow
right.
up.
All right, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. Although we're salivating, we just have to wrap it up. It's funny how time flies when you're having fun. I want to thank you and our guests for joining us, you, our viewers, for tuning in. Make sure you keep following us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. And thank you, thank you, thank you. We have an attitude of gratitude. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. Listen, make sure you keep it tuned right here, because we have a number of hosts that come up and do BronxNet and Open. So we'll keep you abreast of all of that. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the chooser. And remember, whether you say you can or you can't, you're right. So say you can and you will. For this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Peace.